Hello, everybody. My name is Alesh Eisner, and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk, the channel about Canadian investing and personal finance. Please like and subscribe. I record 2 videos per week, so make sure you ring the notification bell to get notified each time one comes out. I'd like to update you on the Canadian housing and real estate, past, present, and future. Canadian housing prices are starting to stabilize and normalize, says the Terranet National Bank House Price Index, which showed a slight uptick in prices during March. Year over year, it is showing a record decline, however. The index declined 6.9% from March 2022 to March 2023, slightly worse than the previous record contraction recorded during the 2008 to 2009 financial crisis. Increases were observed in 3 of the 11 cities that make up the composite index in March. Looking at the detailed breakdown by city for March, the overall index is down 10.71% from the peak, but the amount down from the peak varies widely from city to city. Ontario cities, almost all of them, were down in the high teens from the high, and some over 20%. Other places are down mid-single digits because they didn't have the huge run-ups that some parts of the country did. Even though the resale housing market is showing its first signs of stabilization and the non-seasonally adjusted Terranet National Bank Index has seen its first monthly increase in 10 months, it is still too early to say that the real estate market in Canada is on the rise. In fact, once adjusted for seasonal effects, the composite index contracted by 0.8% during the month, as price growth is generally stronger in the spring with the start of the high season. With the Bank of Canada expected to keep its policy rate in restrictive territory for much of 2023 and mortgage rates remaining high, the index analysts believe that the impact on property prices should continue to be felt in the coming months. All in all, they anticipate that the price correction that currently stands at 8.8% could continue through the end of 2023 and an additional 5% down. This assumes that policy rate hikes are over and declines in interest rates begin at the end of the year. I believe rate cuts will only happen if there is a significant recession. Although corrections are observed in all markets covered by the index, except Sherbrooke, the cities that have experienced the largest price growth over the past 2 years are also those that have recorded the sharpest declines to date. Ontario and British Columbia thus appear to be more vulnerable because of their large run-ups, while the prairie markets are less so as affordability problems are less acute. An interesting tidbit to add is that the US housing market actually rose more than Canadian ones during COVID, and the US prices fell less as well when interest rates came up. This may be because of the 30-year mortgages in the US and especially the locked in low interest rates, and is another reason why the Bank of Canada cannot hike interest rates as much as the US Fed. Also, note that the Canadian population has increased disproportionately to house building lately due to immigration. This will increase demand for real estate in the future. The housing strength could also be due to Canadians simply accepting that the new 5 and 6% mortgage rates are the new normal. To summarize, the overall Canadian real estate is down in the high teens from its peak early in 2022 and has stabilized so as not to be going down significantly in the near future. If interest rates and mortgage rates no longer increase from here, we may have another 5% down in select locations, but nothing drastic. If interest rates go down, we may still see a further decline, especially if we get into a recession, which is what will cause the Bank of Canada to lower the said interest rates. If interest rates stay high for a long time, which will happen if inflation persists into 2024, Then real estate will be flat or decrease somewhat into the medium term, the next 5 years. We're down to the 4% range for inflation, and going down to 2% will be more difficult and protracted than what we've seen until now. There is nothing that says interest rates have to go back to the emergency lows we've had for the better part of 2 decades. And so the quote, higher for longer, end quote, may become the new norm. And there's nothing wrong with 5 or 6% mortgage rates. Keep in mind that over the long run, real estate goes up at the rate of inflation. With the double-digit increases we've seen in some places around Canada for 10 or more years, for the long run average to be true, we need some flat or negative years to make the math work. If you have any requests on what you'd like me to cover in future videos, please put that into the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch, please reach out on any of the social media channels, and may you have a profitable day.